It is. We are. Jeff, I think we're ready to start. If you want to get the recorder.
Chit chat about lightsabers.
Well, how do you?
Could I conduct the beginning?
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
sure.
No, I don't need a gavel or that stuff, right?
Let me
Yeah, and the first thing is just gonna be, Judge Keeler giving me oath of office.
go, Jerry. Thank you. Jan. We're all set.
All right. Yes,
You're on.
good evening, folks. Those of you participating here live and those of you remotely. Welcome to the Clark Summit Borough, January 2nd meeting. In attendance, we have Ms. Carey.
Present.
She said Mrs. I'm sorry. Ms. Lopez.
Present.
Right. Ms. Simo
Present.
and Solicitor O'Brien. Okay. Mr. Guza.
Present.
All right. Mr. Mitchell.
Here.
Ms. Keo.
Here. Oh, you're on there twice.
We have a
Karen.
Kelly twice. Okay.
But you have a best than not.
Yeah.
Do I leave?
Mr. Schiffern.
Is absent.
And Chief Yarns.
Present.
Very good. First, part of the agenda is the meditation.
Yeah, we're gonna do the oaths of office first, and then we'll get to the meditation. I'm sorry, it's above.
I'm sorry, the okay.
minutes.
All right, so we'll have the oath of office
Yep.
for,
Yep.
we have our new fella, Mr. Guza.
Well, and it's also
And
for
Frank.
Kathleen and Frank.
Oh, my God, we got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Dr. Keeler's gonna do it.
Yep.
Very good.
And I'm gonna take pictures.
Start with, we'll start with Mr. Besta. Raise your right hand. I, Frank Beston,
I, Frank Beston,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States,
and the laws and Constitution
the laws and Constitution
of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
and that I will discharge the duties
I will discharge the duties
of the office of councilperson for Clark Summit Borough. It's been a long night. Of the office of councilperson
of the office of councilperson for
For
the Borough of Clark Summit
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Frank, we're gonna have you
Oh, Frank,
sign.
yeah, you
Sorry.
need to sign.
Oh, okay.
Have you sign.
Linda, if you want to get up there, I'll get a picture of the three of you.
Right on your name.
You can make it look better.
I'll take one here and I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Can we get, Paul, can we get a picture with Frank and Linda?
And then you picture with the gentleman?
Lynn, where are you?
Paul. See, it looks like you walking in.
I'm telling you.
Thank you. Frank, you can stand over there. Okay. We'll go out. You guys wanna, why don't you come up, please? I have to have you stand next to you. Or would you rather get a picture?
Well, I can reply with pictures, you know, you just said.
It would be nicer if you come up and stand. If you don't mind. And you want that inside. raise your right hand. I, Steve Guzzo,
I, Steve Guzzo,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the laws and the Constitution
and the laws and the Constitution
of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
as Clark Summit Councilperson
as Clark Summit Councilperson
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Grab a picture.
Okay, sure.
Let's take it out. Here we go. Thank you.
Oh, there you go. 18. How great to see you, Dad, right?
His first vote.
Okay. Councilwoman Simrel, are you ready? Simrel's coming up. Come on, guys.
From your mom. There you go. We're good.
I, Kathleen Simrel,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the laws and Constitution
and the law and Constitution
of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of my office
as
Clark Summit Councilperson
Clark Summit Councilperson
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Good idea.
Thank you. I'm glad I didn't faint. Not good at this stuff. Grace's dad.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Madam President, Mr. Mayor, we're good to go. These boys need to get to a basketball game. Madam President, am I dismissed? Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you. You ready?
Yes.
Right now.
Order of business on the agenda is the meditation. I'm sorry, I forgot at the very top. I forgot to look there about the swearing in. We will have a moment of meditation, please, followed by the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Item on the agenda is the nomination and election of council president. At this point in time, we are open for names for council president.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to nominate Jerry Carey as our council president for the borough of Clark Summit.
Mr. Beston, thank you. Is there a second to this? Okay. A second. Anybody else? Any other names? No other names on the floor? Okay. So Jerry, I don't even know, do we need an official vote here?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
All
We
ayes.
need an official vote. All in favor, say aye. All against? Nay? No nays.
Nope.
It's unanimous. Very good.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, very, I'm relieved of my duty.
No, you do the vice president
Oh,
as
do I
well.
do
I'm
that
not sure
also?
why, but that's what we agreed.
Oh, I didn't know that, okay. Okay, so the next thing would be, vice president of council. Any, names from the floor here? Being brought up?
I would like to nominate Josh Mitchell, who is
Right.
our present vice president now.
Josh.
I'll second.
Second is by,
Steve.
Steve.
I'm sorry, I missed the name. Who was that?
Steve
Mr. Guzzo.
Guzzo.
Oh, Steve, oh, okay. Very good. All right, any other names? For vice president? All right. Josh, it's yours.
We have to vote on
Next that way, we
should
have to have a vote, so it'll be by. It'll be unanimous. But carries. All in favor of Josh Mitchell as vice president?
Aye.
Any nays?
I will abstain.
Mr. Mitchell was the vice president of Clark Summit Council. Okay.
Not to Jerry.
And now Jerry, take it away. Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. You did a great
Great.
job. Appreciate
Well, thank
that. Thank you. The next nomination is for the President Pro Tem.
I will nominate Bob Shields as president pro tem.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. On the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Favors have it. It's Bob Shields. Okay, appointment for the vacancy of the board chair.
It has been Jim Klein. I don't know if you wanna,
Yeah, that is an issue. I think we should really consider someone else because he has some health issues that we would like to not burden him with this, you know? Does anybody have any recommendation on who we would like to appoint to the board chair?
Do we have to fill that tonight?
We can table that then,
Yes.
Virginia, until, okay.
okay.
The next.
We should probably appoint someone that will not be taken by surprise.
Yeah.
Right. Right, exactly. The next one is, the solicitor. Or, do we have a motion to appoint a solicitor?
I will make a
Yeah.
motion to appoint Andrew Kroviak, and I just want to say, Mr. Kroviak, I appreciated your references that you requested and had shared with us. That certainly gave me a lot of confidence. I know last week my concern was not with your candidacy, it was that we only had one candidate. But that certainly was very well received. It was nice actually to get another candidate, someone actually, I think, whose name we've seen before and who I think, your local connections, your experience, I think yours stands above. So I feel very confident in making a nomination to approve Mr. Kroviak.
And I will second that.
Thank you. On the question? All in favor? All opposed? Favors have it. We have our new solicitor, so welcome aboard. And we're happy to have
Thank
you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
The next is the appointment for the Abington Joint Rec Board. We have Josh Mitchell on the rec board. We only have one person on the.
We only have one seat that needs that is open right now, and Josh is interested in the reappointment, being reappointed if you so feel.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve Josh Mitchell?
We'll make a
for,
motion to approve.
Thank you, Steve. Do we have a second?
second.
Thank you. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it.
I will abstain.
Okay. Okay, Josh is gonna be doing another term for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have two seats on the planning commission. John Durden and John, Gazda.
Kazista.
Gazista.
Both of them have been on the planning commission and both are interested in reappointment.
Okay. Do we have a motion to appoint Mr. Durden and Mr. Gazista?
I'll make.
Thank you, Frank. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. You can let them know, Virginia.
So the zoning hearing board, there is one seat and one alternate. The people that currently hold the seat and the alternate are again interested in reappointment.
Perfect, okay. Do we have a motion to reappoint, Bruce Arwood and Sarah Doggett to our, zoning hearing board?
I'll make a motion to reappoint both Bruce and Sarah.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Steve. On the question, all in favor? All opposed? Favors have it. Thank you. We have one seat on the Regional Wastewater Authority, Frank Beston, for a reappointment. Do we have a motion to reappoint Frank Beston?
A motion to reappoint Frank Beston.
You can vote.
I saw your look, so I said, "Fuck
Sorry, Jerry.
Do we have a second?
I will second.
Thank you. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. Thank you. The next two seats on the Shade Creek, Commissioner, Mark Capra, reappointment, Aaron Philbin.
Torquata.
Okay, is she, these
She's-
are both interested in serving on?
They're both interested in serving. Erin is, Molly's term expired and she's stepping down and Erin
Okay.
has volunteered to take the seat.
Great, okay, thank you. We have a motion to appoint these two people to our Shade Creek Commission.
Make the motion to appoint.
Okay, thank you. Steve, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. Thank you. The next, seat is on our IPMC Appeal Board. We have Bob Bennett on that, and he would like. to
He's
be
on there and he'd be
reappointed.
willing to be reappointed, yes.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve of Bob?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. Thank you. The next two seats are the Lackawanna County TCC.
Right, that has been Ben Sanchin and myself. Ben has not been available much recently, so
Okay.
I've always acted as the alternate and would be more than happy to stay as alternate, but I think we need to find a new person to handle that seat. It's a very important, it only meets a couple times a year, but it's a very
Right.
important responsibility.
Should we table this then, Virginia, to retain
If
the right?
you,
candidate?
okay with me being the alternate, go ahead and do
Absolutely.
that, and then we'll table the other part.
Okay.
Okay.
perfect. Okay, do we have a motion to approve of Virginia?
I'll make a
to be
motion.
reappointed? Thank you. Do we have a second
I'll second.
on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. Thank you. The next appointment is our EMA Director, Art Franks. And I'm sure Art would like to stay on board as our EMA Director. Do we have a motion to appoint Art Frank?
I'll make a motion to appoint Art Frank, EMA Director.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it.
FYI, the liaisons do not need to be elected. They're appointed by Jerry. That's just a matter of reference on here in case anything's changing. And the ACOG meeting is tomorrow night, or is Thursday night.
Okay. No problem there. And the next one is the manager secretary. And.
I'll make a motion to appoint Virginia Kehoe as manager.
Thank you, Josh. Do we have a second? Okay, on the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. Thank you, Virginia. Next appointment is for Secretary Sewer Billing, Jen Basalega.
I'll make a motion to appoint Jen Basalega as Assistant Secretary in Sewer Billing, who's doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. Thank you. Our next is the appointment of our treasurer, Sarah Ludwig. We have an motion to approve, Sarah.
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. The next appointment is for our code enforcement officer, Jen Basalega. Do we have an appointment or
Motion.
a motion to appoint Jen again?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. Thank you. Next is our appointment of our police chief, Chris Young.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Favors have it. Thank you.
I don't know.
Very well.
The next item on our agenda is our sewage enforcement officer, Gary Wilding. We have a motion to appoint Gary Wilding.
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Favors have it. Thank you. The appointment of our labor solicitor, Attorney Joe O'Brien.
I'll make a motion to appoint Joe O'Brien, neighbor solicitor.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. Welcome aboard. Thank you. The next item is our zoning hearing.
FYI,
Shields.
Bob Shields Jr., not just Bob Shields the third that's on council.
Right,
And his father has been zoning hearing board solicitor for God only knows how many years. Yeah, forever.
exactly. We have a motion
So
to
moved.
approve actions. Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, on the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. Thank you. Appointment for our planning commission solicitor, Michael Cowley. Do we have a motion to approve Michael Cowley?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Favors have it. Thank you. The next appointment is our auditor, Doherty and Murphy. Do we have a motion to continue with Doherty and Murphy?
I'll make a motion to continue with Doherty and Murphy.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. Appointment of our borough engineer, Colwell Nagley. We have a motion to approve and continue using.
I'll motion to approve Colwell Nagley as our borough engineer.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it.
Now we can go into our regular meeting.
Okay. that went by very quickly.
Yeah, completed the reorganization, yay.
Okay, we have a motion to approve of the agenda.
So moved.
We have a second
I'll second.
on the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the minutes for our August fifth regular council meeting and our August 30th work session. We have a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Thank you, Steve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? David,
May I ask just one quick question before we move on? Will we have minutes from September, October, November? When might we have those?
I'm like, it's like we're doing delinquents, we're doing a lot of stuff right now and getting the trash set, so that's why they're so hard.
Understood. Just curious when we're gonna.
Deal,
clear
like,
that.
two at a time, two at a time, yeah, I am trying, absolutely. I know it's partying.
no, if you're in-
Yeah.
And next is our police report.
Public comments.
You know,
Yeah, but we don't have any. public-
well, we don't know that. Linda might have something to say.
She's not supposed to say anything, right?
Two part-time officers that are listed here. We interviewed them, the personnel committee interviewed them, well, along with the mayor, myself. And we're recommending we hire these two part-time officers. Report of part-time officers. One other thing I'd like to say. We wanted to change, and I talked to the personnel committee about this, we wanted to change the way you hire part-time officers.
Yeah.
I think sometimes what happens is I get these guys that don't wanna work here like 2 or 3 days after a council meeting, and I have to wait till the next council meeting. So what I propose is some sort of a policy change where the personnel committee could be, interview them and vetted by them as well as the mayor, and if it's consensus with the committee and the mayor themselves. We'd like to be able to hire for that real quickly, so waiting for the council.
Exactly.
No, I'm not a full-timer, some
There's just a
part-time.
policy for part-time officers that we can hire them and have them, rather.
I do have just a question about it. It just makes me a little nervous, the idea that we would hire a part-time officer without their name ever having been mentioned in the public meeting. That just makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't know. If anybody has any feeling on that? I understand what you're saying. We almost,
one
I
thing
don't think
that
we
we-
ever don't ratify what the personnel committee recommends, but that's the scenario that we could have, and that just makes me a little.
The one thing that I can say is that the officer would never have an opportunity to work other than training before the next meeting, because it takes over a month to get them trained, right? Just to get them
You can't
through
do
the,
work in the training capacity without being an officer, because I think they're gone and badge, right around their car.
right, but they won't. They have to, once they're hired, then they have to go for their tests to make sure they pass the test. Chris has to get their MOPAC files, that could take a while. Then they have to start training, so guaranteed they will not be acting solo at
So it's-
any time before the next
Would the
meeting.
policy then be to initiate the hiring process to be ratified by council?
Let's do it that way. Yes, perfect,
That sounds better to me.
yeah.
It's just that, just somebody like to see people and I have to wait. And one time, the next morning, I had a person who said I want to work, now you have to wait the next month, the next meeting, you know? That was my fun, and then sometimes they're still looking around at somebody else out doing a job, and there they go, you know?
That's always the problem, chief. We're all aware of, Getting part-timers is very difficult. Sometimes there is no resumes at all. We have nothing down there.
Well, you can see that, if I look at the full-time.
Yeah.
civil service.
Right. So the two people we interviewed are excellent candidates. I worry that other communities are gonna gobble them up. And we can't let that happen. We have to get these people, hired so that, the chief won't have to worry about his scheduling and, we always seem to be losing part-timers and it's a constant go around, but, these two young men seem to be ideal candidates. And I think Gary and Bob would agree with me on that.
Right.
So,
If I'm understanding correctly, it is still going to be approved by council, but the personnel board will bring it forth for us to.
That's how it happens, but I think we're trying to cut the window of bureaucracy down so that the hire happens a little bit more quickly. I'm comfortable with that. I'm uncomfortable with the idea that we would actually hire someone without council having approved it. But if we're really just initiating the process, getting the paperwork started, all those bureaucratic things you have to do
Right, yeah.
pending ratification by council, then I'm comfortable with that.
Okay.
Do we need to make a motion on a policy in that regard?
Yes,
Well, then I will make that a motion that we institute a policy whereby upon the recommendation of the personnel committee, we can initiate the hiring process for part-time police officers pending their hire upon approval by council.
I'll second.
Okay, on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it.
We also get approved to hire these two people? Yeah, I don't think we voted on it.
no, we need a motion and a second on voting, on hiring the two.
Do we have a motion to hire Ryan Williams and Michael?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it. Thank you. And move forward
Just
with that.
For the record, Bob Shields is now in attendance, and I apologize, he's been here for a couple of minutes, but so now the votes. You vote seven? Okay. Okay,
And also, you have already been sworn in, right?
Yeah.
yes,
I guess we're.
Perfect. Okay, because that, we were a little bit concerned, and then Steve said, no, I think he was already sworn in.
Yeah.
yeah, no, he was.
Good.
Wait till you see the minutes, all the things you were appointed to.
You never be absent.
No.
Yes.
And the next item, is the purchase of a police vehicle.
I did spend, guess we're looking for some leasing options, just for food for thought, I guess, more or less. I provided, things with from the one leasing option, the dealer, we normally deal, if you're looking, at frame deals with, called Enterprise Rental. And they do, kind of unique thing in this grant, and they kind of, I think the county does that too, if I'm not mistaken.
The grant money.
You use them, then they call you like several, several months ahead of time, they want the car back. And they swap out the car, you just keep making payments on the car, and your car gets around 50,000-60,000 miles, on they get rid of it. The idea behind it is they get the car back and sell it. With some value on it, and you just keep making payments.
Newer car.
Well, that's what Enterprise. I've been waiting for a lady, she's a representative in this area, to give me the information. Yes, so that's only, that was a leasing question.
Right, and I asked Chris to provide the leasing information, because I know last week when we were talking, we were questioning about the ability to purchase another police vehicle if we did need one. So I thought we should explore options, and that is an option that we can consider. So I have the purchase quote for one right now, just so you could see the comparison, and then Chris provided lease information for that same amount.
I'm excited to see the other one.
Okay, when we get that one, you'll forward that.
So I spoke to Troop, because I had thought Troop leased their vehicles, and what they do is they actually have some sort of arrangement with the capital reserve fund, where they take the money out, the capital reserve fund, and they pay it back over a period of time. then they do the same kind of principle, they send it, when the car gets 4 years old, they get all new cars at once and all, and they give it all the cars, all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know, that was an interesting idea, they're gonna pay interest in that, but I'm not sure if that's an idea that I'd probably, definitely talk the truth about, I don't know.
We have a pending grant or we were
We
seeking.
do have a pending grant, and when we put in the grant, as you recall, that was the grant for the gambling, money, it was Monroe Care Grant. I don't know when that's, I haven't heard when that's gonna be announced.
Last time it was the spring.
Yeah, most of the time it's more towards the end of the month in January, but I don't know, what, what's gonna happen with this, that's what I'm waiting for. I hope we get it, we've been pretty lucky in the past, so.
Right, yeah,
That's how we get the last, all 4 cars are out there from that grant money.
exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, we can just cross our fingers and it happens.
So do we hang in till the spring, you think, or is it necessary?
Yeah, well, depends on what we're doing, and and that's just, there's other things on the agenda here that you'll see that maybe, that's where it gets a little dicey, Right now, we have 4 cars and there's the potential to have 4 on the road at once, and then we wreck a car or something happens to a car, major repair or something, you're down a car. That's a concern.
Yeah.
That's, every now we have usually 2 cars on the road all the time, well, not all the time, most of the time. Then like I said, car breaks down, we have the car, one's wrecked, which has happened, we're down for a month and a half, and in an accident.
So can I ask on this lease option, if we needed a car and we needed it very quickly for any of those reasons, would the lease option be the most?
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's financial advice, it almost seems like a loan to me, by the way, that particular lease option you're looking at the end of the lease, you buy the car for $1.
Yeah, let me just qualify. The issue isn't whether we lease or finance as far as speed. The issue is how long it takes to order one.
Right.
So Chris, you want to talk about how long from when we place the order?
One of the salesmen came here and he met with him for a few seconds. He claims to me that he was getting a bunch of cars this month. I haven't spoken to him since then because he didn't know how long it would be in inventory. There's another place that Scranton uses in Harrisburg, which we never used. And I spoke for the rate lines with the guy that does their fleet management down there. And Scranton, he says they get a lot of inventory. So it's easier to get a car from them. But they're a CoStar dealer. So the answer is I don't know, how long it would take to get a car. I think it's a lot better than it was last year. Last year was a big problem.
Yeah.
Getting cars, you ordered, I think we ordered a car and it took us almost 9 months to come up with it. And it was kind of scary because the other departments had the same problem when they would wreck, Wilkes-Barre PD, for example, wrecked a couple of their cars and they didn't have the lease cars, well, that's the same, well, they're in the same kind of thing. Whatever the inventory is, national, but my understanding is dealership in Harrisburg is a big, huge dealership that deals with emergency service. It's also dump trucks and mostly deal with all kinds of municipal. That's their primary customer. Municipalities, which I got introduced to, but I haven't really spoken to anybody about that.
Okay, well, we'll certainly.
I'll keep you posted with anything else. I'm waiting for the enterprise people, because I thought it was an interesting concept where you lease it for 2 years and then trade it in, and supposedly you trade it when it has a lot of value stuff, and then you're only paying for the depreciation costs. We'll have to see. I don't know. I don't have any numbers. I apologize. I'm waiting for Lily to come back. I'll get back to me.
If we can get the grant, that's even a better deal.
Yeah. Oh, wait, yeah.
Okay, and next item is the ransom.
We'll all have an executive session after the meeting to go over the contract that Joe has drafted, so we can make suggestions, improvements, so forth.
Okay. also gonna be with Newton then to
Well,
discuss both of those.
I put it on the agenda because it's time to get it on record. Newton Township is announcing at their meeting tonight that they are working with us on a contract. So, I thought just put it on the record. I don't think there's any action to take
Right.
tonight on this, other than just letting everybody know that it is, we've been approached
Right.
and the finance committee is working. with them.
If, I will just say for the record that if it's on their agenda that they're working with us on a contract, that is not true. That is premature.
That they're working with us
Okay.
on coverage. I apologize
I
for the
told
wording.
them, they called me that we were discussion, having discussions about it, but that's far as, I don't know, I think it's so early with that. I mean, I can't even wrap my head around it until more definitive, you know. I worry about that, and I discuss my concerns with
I know this is gonna be all over
Mitchell.
Facebook tomorrow, though, so I thought.
Well, we need to consider our own comfort level, taking them a proposal, and this issue of a car factors into that pretty significantly. And then discuss the terms that we're willing to offer. I mean, that's basically where it's at with us. I think we can probably do that over the next couple of weeks. But those are the issues that I think we need to discuss.
The best way I would say is we don't have an answer, you know. We just don't, because that was one of the things that they were looking for today, and I said, like, was it a yes or a no? I said, it's no answer. We don't have one.
Okay, well, we'll keep pursuing that then. Okay, the next item on our agenda is the treasury report for November.
You wanna let Chris leave now?
Yeah. Madam President, any other issues in the council regarding the business of chief? What do you do? Oh, Rhonda. Oh, I do shake her head.
Gary, if I could just say one thing. Trish, you're part of the planning board, part of the ambulance with the whole thing. About a week ago, my wife unfortunately had an accident. She passed out, she hit her head. I want to compliment the EMTs who came to the house. They were at the house within 5 minutes. I don't think the garage door was open. They were pulling in. They were very courteous. They were very thorough. They had my wife into the ambulance and into Scranton within 10 minutes of being there. And I think it's a compliment to the borough to have these people who are so dedicated and making a bad situation into something that luckily.
But I'm still alive.
You're still here. Be doing yours. But I would like to have it on record. The EMT service for the borough is excellent. The fire department, you saw what happened the other day in Park Summit, and we already know we have one of the best departments in the area. So I just want to say thank you, and I know my wife agrees with me on that.
Expanding on that, I'm preaching to the choir, but I want to get it on the record again to the public that the fire department is volunteers.
Right.
We are dependent on volunteers, thank God we have them. If we didn't have them, we would have to pay for a fire department, and the residents don't have a clue how much it would impact them financially. So we really need to be grateful for them and supportive of them. Make donations.
And also, on the same note there, Virginia, we offer a tax break if they're a volunteer with our fire department.
Correct.
And we want to get this message out because there's a lot of young people that would be interested in it, that they do have part-time jobs and that they would get a tax break on that. So it's just something I was hoping that the fire department would leave it on their marquee over there, that volunteers do get a tax break. So, and a lot of them do take advantage of it. So I'm hoping that we can recruit some more new ones. So, but thank you, and thank you, Frank.
Yes, thank you. Okay, Keith.
You're good to go.
Hi, Keith.
You can be excused too.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna miss you, but you're. Virginia, we don't have any bids or quotes. All right, next item on our agenda is our treasury report.
I'll make a motion that we approve the treasurer's report for November and December, correct?
Sure, thank you, Jim. Do we have a second
I'll second.
on the question? All in favor? All opposed, favors have it, 7-0. Vendor payments to be ratified, do we have a motion to do the bills?
A motion that we pay the bills.
Do we have a second
Oh, sorry.
on the question? All in favor? All opposed, favors have it, 7-0. Under old business, sewer report for December.
Everyone's got a copy of the sewer report. It was pretty brief and to the point. Jen had, a higher number of delinquencies than usual on the other, because we've been so backed up because of her disability or short-term disability. On the other hand, the amount of the delinquencies was not huge. They're typically just one quarter and they're making them up. So we've had a number of calls and people coming in. So we're seeing that, and the dollar amount, you'll see when we get the aging out tomorrow, is not jumped significantly, it's just a little higher.
Yep. And also our trash report for.
Well, now that we have a trash, now that we're billing for the trash, we'll have a quarterly report on that. We have 2,051 accounts, that's not units, but that's accounts. We billed a total of 101,000 for the first quarter in January, or billed it in December for the first quarter. We received payments from 1,245 of those, amounting to $63,377. I need you to note too, though, that while that's only about half of the accounts, we have hundreds of ACHs that we're about to post. We're just finishing getting the file ready. So in effect, they've paid, they're just not recorded on here yet.
Okay.
So that number will be included in the future. We just didn't have a chance to this time.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do you have any estimates on how the total number? Do you think it's like more like 80 or 75 or percent?
Yeah, I'm really amazed at how many we've gotten, and I would say probably 75% at least. And I will be more than happy to email you guys after the ACHs are posted to let you know. But we're surprised at how good of a response we're getting from our residents. The issue with the ACH is we did not intend to do ACH on the first quarter,
Yeah.
but the vast majority of people that applied for ACH didn't include a payment. They wanted it made starting at the beginning, so we're gonna do
Yeah.
that.
And then our civil service exam.
The civil service, other than the physical, the agility and the physical agility and psychological is done. They are working on those right now. The written and oral, all three candidates passed. So it looks like we will have a candidate list of 3. Civil Service Commission will be meeting later this week.
Okay. Yeah. The new business, our new solicitor,
Taken care of. He's sitting right here.
sitting right here. We're very grateful to have you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
I'm happy in my system.
You still got labor solicitor.
Responsibility. Still able to be an assistant.
Excellent. The next resolution, 2024-01 is our meter suspension.
The Ice Festival is
The Ice
later this
Festival.
month. We're asking the ABPA is asking for meter suspension on that weekend.
Does it need a motion?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-01 meter suspension.
Second.
Okay, do we have, excuse me, on the question,
I,
all in favor, all
Aye.
opposed,
Aye.
favors have it. Thank you.
rolling my eyes.
I. The next is correspondence, Carol Rubel. This is the same issue.
Right, we've talked about it. We just, last week we talked about it. I don't know what we can do about it. It's just on the record that we are looking at it. The school is aware of it.
Exactly.
Out on the middle school,
Peter.
we've received
Oh,
two different
traffic on
emails regarding the state police
Okay, yeah.
have, come forward to tell the rest, the mothers picking up not to park on the road of what a danger it is.
You're right, and that really
And it
is
did
a,
stop
it's a tough situation too, because to get
It's
off
the
the
borough
road, they
road.
have a big ditch.
Right.
So that's another issue there too, you know, that.
So the middle school sent out an email stating to come at 2:20 so that they're not parked on the road. So maybe the school could do the same, the elementary school,
I'll be happy to email them.
and just stress the timing would help.
Is it something that is ticketable though, if they do not comply? Can they write a ticket for being pulled over on the side of that road?
It's, parking is allowed on the side of the road, so no.
Yeah, it's no.
Unless,
there's no
unless and
parking
until we
signs
ban
at all.
parking on the side of the
Right.
road, and that's just gonna chase them up, onto Carnation or you know, down
So
somewhere.
I'm not sure what we can even ask our police to do about it is the problem.
That's the issue there, you know,
Right,
there's a situation there, there's not a resolution for. The best resolution, and the situation has become an issue since the pandemic, because now more parents
Exactly,
are
yeah.
not using the bus, are picking up and dropping off. If we could encourage parents to start letting their kids take the bus, so that there's less vehicles trafficking, it was not an issue 4 years ago. This was
Right.
not a concern 4 years ago, it is now. So that's the cause, and that's the only solution, I believe.
right. Part of the issue at the middle school, I know firsthand, is they're showing up so early and they're parking there forever. So like,
Yes.
that creates a problem where if you pull on at the correct time, it just flows right through.
And that is the same thing here
It's the
too.
same
right?
situation.
Everybody rushes to be the first one in line, so they
Yeah.
don't have to wait, but you're waiting anyway.
So it seems like an issue that the school would have to handle directly to communicate to the parents, to be honest, it doesn't seem like anything we can do.
Well, we would have to, I mean, I believe, I don't know how many of them are the borough versus Southampton Township, but in the neighborhood of the high school, there are no parking during certain hours.
Mhm.
Signs, there's an ordinance
Right.
banning parking during certain hours. We could do that on that road during certain hours. That would be the only thing we could do to then be able to enforce with our police department. That would be a prerequisite.
Right, and it's something maybe y'all want to pay attention, drive around sometime during school time, see what's going on there and see if you think that's a viable option or not. And if it is, we can draft an ordinance on it.
Just a suggestion, I would think a letter to the principal at the elementary school to let the people that are driving their children to school pull off the road, because there is room for them to pull off. And I've been able to go up and down.
I've
cars coming
already
both
sent that
ways.
letter to the superintendent.
Right, so.
Right, so
that-
he's
so
aware
that
of it.
So, I mean, some cars don't really pull over as far as they
Mhm.
should, but it's always passable, you know,
Right.
but. And I've heard from, parents that said, well, their kids would have to get the bus so early in the morning, and I'm thinking. They're sitting in the car waiting in
The
line,
problem is on the way home.
and then they
it's
get the
after
bus
school,
going
not
home.
before.
you know,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a
That's
viable
the-
option or not. I'd have to talk to the engineers, but it just occurred to me, maybe we could paint a line that would put the shoulder as a waiting area. So that the cars knew that they were expected to move over. I don't know. I can check with the engineers if you would like me to explore that.
You know, I'd leave it up to the school first to let them notify the family that are driving their students to school to pull off the road as possible, you know. I mean, it's gonna be an issue when we get our snowstorms and the snow is piled up high
Right.
along the side of the road too.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go.
Right.
But by the same token, school is canceled if we get that much snow anyway, so. It's a mute subject there, I guess. Okay, so we've had we're gonna have an executive session tonight.
Immediately following the meeting, and we had an executive session last week after our, work session.
So we're not gonna be coming back and doing a vote or anything like
I
that.
do not believe we need to vote on anything after this work session, so no.
Okay, so we can adjourn.
I'll motion that we adjourn.
Linda, at this point, you have to say goodnight to everybody.
Gary, are you taking the phone?
My house?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Giving me a break. Okay, so this is the joy tonight. I haven't been out. I've been stuck in the house. I'm alive. Good night, everybody.
But you wrote like a history on the back.
See what happened was after these were sent, we got your payment. So it just coincided that way.
Well, let me know this.
I will let you know, but I'm sure. it's-
All right, thank
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, he said, give him a pass.
Take care.
Gets nice tickets too, like, I'm gonna go.
Great. Okay, then.
The way we put together the information about history of ISIS.
Yeah, I thought we had 1 year after girl than we do.
Yeah, but it's CPA, I don't.
Might have other contacts, we got like Charles.
Very cap.
Oh, I'm sorry, maybe, so like, Barry Kaplan. It was the summer, was the summer penguin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get on with that and they give me like the kind those contacts. But not the numbers, but should just call summer penguin, which I should just call, summer penguin.
Yeah.
Just call
Call them.
My inbox there.
Yes.
Oh, you know.